just a few days before the month of January takes an exit. And if you ask me, this is fastest January we've seen in a long time. So thank goodness for that. We are going to be doing the newspaper reviews and analysis this morning. Don't forget to join me on YouTube Live. It's High Voltage News. I plead with you to please like, subscribe, and then share. All right. You can also call the studio lines to also share your version of the analysis or whatever it is that you understand from the stories we're reviewing this morning. You can call 0706 048-5853. You can also call 0915-570-8347, and you will be a part of the program this morning. One of my favorite guests will be joining me on the analysis this morning, Mr. Onyekachi Ede, barrister at law. He's here this morning, and we will be doing these analysis together. You're welcome, barrister. Come on. You don't like to be addressed as barrister. I don't know why. I just said it myself. So, anyways, he's here with me, and of course, you are expecting that this will be like a very important edition of the reviews this morning because he's quite insightful and very perspectful in his reviews. You're welcome, sir. All right. Okay, so let's move straight to the papers this morning and tell you what's what. Okay, first thing on the news on the Vanguard this morning is hardship. Women are scavenging for valuables in garbage dumps to feed their homes. January 2025. That's one of the first things on our stories this morning. All right. Influx of ISWAP. Southern governors mobilize, activate regional security. All right. Also, the Alafin Turtle brings Wadegesin challenges Owade's emergence in court. So at every level, there's always politics going on in the country. So these are community selections and elections happening in the Southwest. Okay, so let's also tell you that China's population falls for third year in a row amid birth rate decline. Okay, also they are practicing the what is it called? They have a name for it. Something like 4G or 5G, where the women are boycotting the men. A lot of things are happening in the world. It's a real campaign where in places like Japan and some parts of Korea and some parts of China, the women have begun to boycott their men. Uh, it's amazing the things that are happening. But some people consider them to be human evolution. So we're here and we're observing some of these things. All right. Some people would say the only problem Africa has is probably politics. We don't have certain other problems. And if you look at it, you might be thankful for that. So let's continue. Lagos government probes the death of a 2-year-old pupil in school. Local governments to receive direct federal allocations by January, says the presidency. All right, let's continue to move forward. BPP approved 250. All right, this is just the rehabilitation. We're not trying to start all over again. This is this is a fix up, but it's going to cost 252.89 billion naira. All right, insecurity. Matawale stresses need for modern equipment in 2025. Well, keep stressing the need for it. Keep stressing the need for it. Moving forward, costly FX is denying Nigerians the benefit of local refining, says Pengasin. Pengasin has a lot to say. They've been in the news since yesterday. There's a lot of conversation that needs to be had about the oil and gas sector in this country. But of course, the minister and the people in charge of that sector are saying that they have no control over the price. I don't know how that happens, but it's amazing that I am the head of my family and I don't know what happens in that family. Or I might be running a company and don't know what the company sells. So That's what the Nigerian government is trying to make us understand, at least to my to the best of my English understanding. That's what it sounds like. Speaking of oil and gas, Dangote refinery reduces pressure on European markets, says OPEC. Okay, speaking of Ohanese presidency, Anifere is the new Ohanese president and strengthens restructuring. Okay, I don't know what that is. Anifere to new Ohanese president. Okay, so Anifere to the new Ohanese president, strengthening restructuring. I don't know, but this time around, it's been given to River State man. So apparently, the Igbos are claiming back River State as an Igbo state. And the conversations have been going on the internet. A lot of people are disagreeing that River State is an Ijaw land and should belong to the Niger Delta. The conversations are going on. Delta State is also in the works because the conversation keeps going back and forth between the Igbos and the Ijaws. But most parts of Delta State are saying that they are actually Igbos. Places like Onichubo and Ezechime and places like that are saying that strongly that they are Igbos. But these conversations will continue. But most people assume that with the zoning of the Ohanese Igbo presidency to the River State, gives this conversation a lot more advantage. So we'll see what happens as they unfold. Moving on, local governments again to receive direct federal allocations by January, that is this month, says Nigeria's presidency. All right, we would like to see the autonomy of the local government actually take full effect, and we would want to see what changes it could bring to our country. And on the Daily Post this morning, NIN registration lepers describe and decry the lack of identity and exclusion. We can understand why. And we also hope that something is being done about this particular situation. Moving on, the governors bow and back the tax reform bills. They propose a new VAT sharing fund. And of course, this this is what will make it work. We don't know what the formula is, but I'm sure they have some sort of arrangement. And if the federal government agrees, then the tax reform bills will take effect. But of course, with a little bit of tweaking and tweezing, which the governors are bringing to the table. But we will wait to see what those tweaks and tweezes will be. All right, Nnamdi Kanu has been in the news briefly. He has offered 1 million naira on a challenge to law students in Nigeria. You might want to know what that challenge is. We will come to it later. All right, Dangote refinery eyes fresh crude imports and targets 650,000 BDP in June. All right, we are still buying it for 1,000 to 1,200, and ministers are saying that they cannot control the price of petroleum. And also, Pengasen is saying that if Naira itself gains a little bit of respect in the money market, that the price of petroleum could come down as low as 600 Naira. But then, these are all speculations. It doesn't seem like anybody is actively making a move to bring down these conditions. So we might as well just call them what they are. They are just speculations at this point. All right, let's see what's more we can grab. Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Unprovoked killings of military men is unacceptable, says Anoku. All right, as much as this is a tragic situation, it's also a very bad sign, and it's pointing to a very more critical situation if we're actually being honest with ourselves. But I'll let you tell me what it is you understand by most of these things that we are experiencing. And speaking of insecurity and war-related situations, the Gaza war, fighting must go on. Two of Netanyahu's top ministers threatened to resign. All right, these politicians, they just have one thing and one thing on their mind, and it seems nobody can tell them anything else, which is quite unfortunate. PDP NWC recognizes new leadership in River State, and River State continues to unfold, right? That's it. That's the much we can grab on the Daily Post this morning. Let's quickly go to the news now and see what's going on over there. Governors bow and back the tax reform bill, proposes new VAT sharing formula. Still in the news, alleged 12.3 billion naira fraud, the CBN, First Bank, and their staff is to testify against Oba Otudeko, XMD, and others. It's been one embezzlement accusation or allegations here and there in this country. You're wondering, how much money do we have that these people are able to share this money in such crazy numbers amongst them? So, and they're taking them in billions. They're not taking them in millions or in little. They're taking them in billions. One person takes a 40 something billion, 50 something, 500 and something billion, 80 billion. You're wondering, whose money is being spread around like this? It's unbelievable. How do we have all of this money that one person or some group of people can just make the monies disappear? You know, they can just disappear like that. 12.3 billion. You know, these monies are life changing. And I'm not talking human, just one person. I mean, like an entire community. You can literally turn their lives around. And individuals are cutting away this money. Individuals are accessing this money. We don't know what is going on. We don't know. The audacity is getting out of hand. The numbers are getting crazier by the day. Somebody needs to sit up. Somebody needs to sit up. Anyways, the CBN unveils digital initiatives. All right. Speaking of that, please, can you do something about the banks not giving us back our monies that they take during transactions, that they debit customers during transactions? The monies don't reflect neither to the sender nor to the receiver. It doesn't make sense. Stop stealing from Nigerians. You people are driving us crazy. There are too many things a Nigerian has to worry about in a day. And all these sectors, you don't make it easier for any of us. It's not okay. It's not enough that we have to buy our monies back from the POS machines. Like, that's not enough. You also take our monies without telling us. You say their maintenance fees. We see a huge amounts of our monies being taken for fees and maintenances we don't even get to see. You charge us for ATM maintenance. We don't even get to use them at your banks anymore. We use them with the POS people who charge us for using it with them. You also charge us for maintaining the cards. We don't understand. And now we make transfers. You acknowledge that it doesn't go, and then for some glitch that we can't explain, the monies are removed from our accounts. Even it's bad that sometimes when we make a reappearance to the bank to say, please, this money left my account and was never received by anybody, do I get it back? You make us look so stupid. You send us on a wild goose chase. You say, go and come back after 50 working days. We actually obey and come back after how many days? You say, you tell us all kinds of things. The CBN must really, really understand that they are dealing with a very crucial part of the Nigerian lives. You're dealing with our resources. You're dealing with our hard work. You're dealing with our livelihood and our money. So I don't know if you've forgotten what your job is, but you must take this very seriously. I'm asking you people now to do something about these banks taking our monies and not returning them. It is daylight robbery. And for an institution like you, this is unacceptable. So I'm asking the CBN this morning, call your people to order and ask these banks to give us the services that they actually put down on paper that they were offering to us. I have a lawyer in the house this morning. If anybody do anything we are not understand, we will see. All right. All right, let's see. Drama as House of Rep members struggle with English while presenting motion. All right, I will let Mr. Onyekachi then take it from here. What do you think, sir?
Well, Nigeria is a wonderful place. Like I have always thought what to do with the money. The problem of Nigeria is not money. The problem is that there are too many thieves that steal this money with ease. We wouldn't have any reason to be borrowing money. In fact, we should be lending even the Western world money There's too much money in this country. But like I said before, unless and until we get the leadership right, things will continue the way they are. Because our own is a reversed normal. The normal thing is that you steal. The abnormal thing is that you don't steal. If you don't steal, you're a fool. That's how Nigeria is now.
You're correct.
And so they say this person stole 100 billion. From the time Abacha died till now, Abacha have been giving us money.
Unbelievably, I don't know that kind of. It's like.
And that's because he is dead. If he is not dead, he will hold the money. Those who are living are holding theirs.
Yeah, so the people who are giving us the money, why are they giving us the money?
Well, they're giving us the money because the owner of the money is dead.
Yeah, because sometimes it's confusing. It's like this. It's like a gift that never stops giving. The man gives us money like every year. He releases like this crazy amount.
That tells you how much money others have in those foreign banks. The Zionist own is coming.
Oh yeah.
You know, because you may be surprised that the Zionist money is a change. There are more than 1 million out there with our collective money.
Okay, but how
running into billions of dollars, not naira. And yet every day they still borrow to share. Because it's not for development. They borrow to share.
I wanted to ask you, how porous is our system that they can cut away with these amounts of money? Because you mentioned something, they take it away with ease.
Of course.
It doesn't seem like it's a difficult thing.
It's not difficult because they are all in it together. They are all in it together. So nobody asks if you are stealing and I'm stealing, the other person is stealing. It's a normal. It's a normal thing.
And I can't hold you.
How can you hold me? We are in it together.
Wow.
We are brothers in crime. Partners in crime.
Wow. Okay, so we're steady doing this. We're steady going about why we're seeing what they're doing. It's clear. How do we come back from this thing?
I've said it before, revolution. That's the only way out.
Do you
because
realize?
These people are ready to even kill us. So that they continually, every day, on the streets, everywhere, harassing us, intimidating us, beating us. They don't want us to be heard. In fact, sometimes they don't even want us to be seen.
We have a caller. 0706 048 5853. You can also call 0915 570 8347. The phone lines are officially open. We're also live on YouTube. That's High Voltage News. Please like, subscribe, and share our page. Okay. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Greetings to you, sir.
My special greetings to your guest.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, he said we should not. He warned us.
Okay. Well done, my brother.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You see, the issue of you are asking how to get cut away with some of money. I have told you, you cannot move money out. Except under this, you can move billions out. Under this our system. Any nation that is operating this type we are operating, that is non-cashless, you can move money everywhere. How do they do it? You can say you are buying maybe motor vehicle of about 150 million and the process there, which is 1.2 billion. Or even just convert the whole thing into dollar. And you use the bullion van and have them away. It's all that cashless. You can't try it. It's not possible. You can't even move up to 100 million out of it. Even 10 million. It's very difficult. And like I said before, they know this thing very well. They know that. And that was why Buhari did not want to introduce the cashless while doing his own time. They wanted to finish, and when they finish their own looting, they want to introduce it will affect the other person that is coming after them. The earlier we start implementing the cashless, it's better for us. However, for us to do it requires a gradual method, not the fact that they make it to produce, you don't just start with that thing, you're wiping out to 1,500 and 100 at a stage, you don't do it. Otherwise, it will create crisis in the system. So the best system has been the one they call gradual process. So that within the first 6 months, we phase out what we owe 1,000, another 6 months, we phase out another 500, and the third one, another 6 months, we phase out 200. And then nobody will feel. And then you like teach people, teach the masses how to make use of this transfer, and then you go advocate with it. On the issue of program, yes, the army are actually trying, but I had expected the army to come to the area with their own helicopter before the foot soldiers move in. Don't just allow the foot soldiers to move when you have not used the helicopter or fighter jet to make sure you avoid that place very well. It's very, very unfortunate. I must have the concept.
Please remember to keep your comments clean, simple, and civil. We don't want to break any rules. Good morning to you. Are you there? Good morning. You're welcome, Mr. Vin Martins.
Yeah, the Lagos to blow the death of 2-year pupil in the school. Am I right?
That's right, absolutely.
Yeah, I think we are any society that tries to protect the children is doomed. In Nigeria, we seem to neglect that. In Lagos State and other states, you see bullying. A child is bullied to death. A child is electrocuted in the school environment. A child fell into, it's becoming a recurring decimal. You have in your house, your swimming pool is open, a child dives in and swim and dies because they practice what they are doing. That one is the children don't be. You leave their well open. You leave dangerous things within the environment, chemicals, and these children dive into it and they perish. You know what happened in the battle the other day? Children. You are being empathy for them, they perish. And nobody is asking questions. Even the parents of those kids should be brought to book. These are issues. We don't have adequate protection for kids. And that is why even myself, I got my heart for our parents that protected us. You see old parents, 8 children, 11 children, they are all protected and guarded. So I don't know. We have to address this situation. And if possible, bring anybody to book out of this negligence. You have a swimming pool in your house. You leave it open for kids. You have a well in your house. You open it for kids. You do programs with kids that are stampeded and nobody is talking. Keep quiet. And sometimes we now throw our negligence to other people. These things have to be addressed. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vin Martins. I very especially appreciate the fact that you raised this particular issue. There was something I was saying on this program sometime this week. I mentioned that our problems in Nigeria don't disappear. Instead, they keep getting bigger. You see this bullying of children in school, children dying in school and things like that. It started sometime in 2022, after the COVID was called off. We started seeing these behaviors. Or Moribo, I remember that young man that was severely abused by his fellow classmates, and the boy lost his life. Over time, his parents, started dying because they were so traumatized by losing the young man. Now, we have continued to see more and more of these stories come out. Vin Martin said, why don't we nip things in the bud and them right there? Why do you think that we are so, what is this? Is this carelessness? Why are we like that?
Yeah, it's carelessness and the government failing in their responsibility of protection of life and property. Because in the old days, there were few, private schools. Now, almost every street have more than one, or at least one private school. Who is supervising them? The public schools too have been abandoned because in the years back, in our school days, seniors punish juniors, but not out of wickedness. And what we see now is that there's wickedness in the system. Everybody wants to hack down the other person, probably venting an old anger or an anger from the society itself.
But these are younger children. Where would they be getting such level of hatred from? Young people in the primary and secondary schools, where would they be getting this level of hate?
So many homes, husband and wife live together, but the home is broken. So sometimes they pick this up growing up. They pick it up growing up because it is the duty of the parents to instill morals in the children, not the school. The whole training of a child is the school and the parents. And so we discover that some parents have left everything to the school. That cannot happen. 30, drop the child at school and don't come back till 6 p.m.
We have heard things.
Their parents. Irritant teachers don't, in fact, they ought not to be teachers, as it were, because they don't have the patience, the temperament,
The patience.
to take care of children.
That thing is it's the work of God. I always give teachers kudos than anybody, because have you ever been around kids? If you can manage to put things in those people's head, you are some kind of genius. They're
And that's
crazy.
because some teachers actually picked up the teaching job because they have no other job. They don't love what they're doing. If you don't have passion for any job, you can never give your best.
So at the end of the day, this whole thing is affecting every area of this country and everything that we are doing.
Of course. Of course. And think of it, a teacher that is, for instance, going to school, and this government harassment, maybe the teacher gets pissed off, he vents it on the children when she gets to school.
We have seen.
You become hearing, say, why should you be blowing siren? You're harassing the people. You should be serving. Your employees, your employers, sorry, are the people you're harassing. We are the employers of the government officials because we pay them, the money is ours.
It doesn't seem the Nigerian people have an idea that the politicians or the people in power are supposed to actually be of service to them and not the other way
They
around.
should be accountable to the people.
Why do you think that there's that distinction between the people and their leaders? Why do you think so?
Why I think so is because of failure of the system.
Failure of the system. God help us. Good morning to you.
And that is okay, once more. And they say the governor's forum eventually bowed to question. Yes, those are now in trouble, so to say. Why say those things?
I'm sorry, sir. Who did you say is in trouble?
He said
Yeah, people this in the South East now because they have now agreed that the sharing should be 3% only for a policy. That means they will just, if the VAT for the month is, let's say, 100 billion, they will bring 50 billion and share it all among the local states, including Africa. Then they will get another 30 billion, which is 30%. And say if they go to that they are generating that VAT. So the worst one is cut one, which is 50%. Which they should now be shared according to population. And you know that the population of the South is based on that 2006 population. This moment, what that of Kano in 2006 was 9.6 million. And that of Lagos, 9.6 million. Even South East was 15.2 million. You can imagine. So if you are not to share anything according to population, it means that what you go South East, it's just a little bit above what Kano State alone. Or if you add that of Lagos and Kano, it will start 9 plus 9 again and give you almost 18.4 million as against 16.2 for the whole 5 South East. So meeting that population does not, I feel, for the South East. I don't know why our population was so low. But you know, one major reason then was that when the population was growing on in 2006, she was really can go and get back up. They say there will be no electricity out there.
Mr. K, it's difficult to make you out. Can you please call us back so that it's clearer? The line is really choked up, and you know you're calling out numbers and it's running into each other. We really can't hear you. So please, we will appreciate if you do call us back and actually give us the data that you're trying to give to us. You can call 0706 048 5708347. The governors have with a new sharing formula on the tax reform bills. Yes, apparently this is not news, because from the moment the presidency insisted that they were going to go ahead with that bill, the Northerners raised their hands and arms immediately, straight up, and they marched on it, and we were sure, because we had that conversation in the studio on this program, that definitely if the North were against this tax reform, that something definitely is going to happen. And that thing has begun to happen, because apparently there has been some adjustment to what that tax reform bill originally was.
I don't think it is correct to say
Okay.
that the governors are about to pressure and are not backing the tax reform bill. No.
Okay.
But that the northern governors have gotten what they asked for.
As simple as that.
Simple. Don't beg the I mean, don't try to patronize anybody. The northern governors have gotten what they wanted. There's something like bound to pressure. Rather, the presidency have bowed to the pressure from northern governors.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Good morning. All right. You can call us back, and don't forget that you can send us a text message or WhatsApp messages on the numbers that we have been calling out for you. The northern governors may have gotten exactly what they wanted.
Not may, they have gotten it.
Ouch. And
they never bowed down. They never failed to say what you have on the table is against the North. They have not put on the table what is in favor of the North. So nobody should say that the governors are about to pressure. No. But that the presidents are about to the northern governors' pressure.
It says a lot. It says this is one of those situations where the more you look, the very less that you see. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Greetings to you.
I greet your guest.
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Barrister at law.
Good morning. Justice from my mind.
Welcome.
Justice from my mind.
You're welcome, Justice.
Oh, see, while we were in school, secondary school back then, we used to have what is it? Inspection officers.
Okay.
From the education ministry.
Yeah.
They will come to each class. They will just pick 1, 2, or 3 classes to the first, second term of that previous term. They will set a test for those 3 people. If they fail, that teacher has a query. Are you getting me?
We're with you.
Yeah, that teacher or that teacher of that class will have a query. Because it is your best that failed. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
But none of those, we don't have those things. The whole time we finishes, nobody inspects anybody. Even those who are those that has the duty to do that, they'll sit in the office, gossip, and at the end of the day, this is what is happening. You just take what is called a transnational like National Orientation Agency. It has been moribund for years now. And people work in those agencies, that agency now, and they collect salary year in, year out.
Surely.
And they don't do anything. Somebody was telling me that, do you know the reason why they removed the other, is it our national anthem?
Yeah, the former, yes.
Because of the fourth stanza of that the anthem that says that for God of creation, direct our noble path, guide our leaders right. You want God to guide them right so that they will not do the wrong thing again. So they have to remove it.
They don't want to be guided right.
Yes, how do you want God to be guiding them right so that they will be doing but their heart is so wicked that they do things that is unimaginable, that when you look at those things, you begin to wonder if these people are really human. If they are human. So I always tell you that each ministry, there are abundance in each ministry. Go and see the implementation level. If you get up to 40%, you are good to go. Some will have 15%, some will have 20%, some will have less than 10% implementation. And at the end of the day, where does those money go? It comes back to them and they share it. It's quite unfortunate how we come. I think I'm telling you, I don't want to be in lamentation this period. And I'm beginning to lament again. I'm beginning to lament.
But the problem is, it's not about you lamenting, because this is what I've noticed about us in the country. The victims tend to blame themselves for this. Listen, you've been following me for years now, Mr. Justice, and we've been reviewing the news together over time. Is it as if something new and different has happened and we kept on lamenting? That's the problem. The thing that is biting us have not left us alone, and that's why we're shouting.
And that is why, even if you don't want to lament, lamentation keep coming to you, and it keeps manifesting itself because you don't know what to do. These things above all.
Wow.
We can talk and talk and talk.
So does it mean we should all just pack up and keep quiet and let these things continue to happen like this?
Keeping quiet, you can't even hold yourself if you want to keep quiet. Like now, I'm trying to hold myself. I can't.
I hear you.
You can't even keep yourself. You can't even hold yourself because things that happen, just like a child. I saw in the social media the other day, a teacher was clapping a child, a little boy. There's no love. And how do you get into this? These people are those who are paid 20,000, 30,000 naira in a month. With that anger, they pour it on the children. It's very quite unfortunate. But I know one day.
These conversations must be had. I know they can be triggering. They are annoying. They are redundant. They are everything. They are too many things. But now, the Okuko said that she's only shouting so that the world will hear.
Not necessarily that what is holding the chicken will leave it.
So she said she's only shouting so that the world would hear that she at least made a protest before they took her to the slaughter. But I understand. It seems like we are lamenting, Abi. I get it, but if we don't talk about it, if we don't even know what the problem is, because and then talking about it is just a few of us. Do you know how little we are that actually are interested and are talking about it?
So many people are talking, like I have said in this program before. Thank God for social media. It could have been worse. It could have been worse because these people, there's what they call dog eating dog. When they get even one of their own and want to throw the person away, there is nothing they will not do. Obasa is in trouble now.
They're dealing with him.
Because
apparently
he has disagreed with one thing and they say you will suffer.
All of a sudden his credentials are illegal.
Yes.
An entire speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly.
There is a letter that I saw coming out from the Supreme Court. And that letter is allegedly written in 2020.
Okay.
From Office of the Registrar.
Okay.
That his name is not on the roll of lawyers.
That is what we've heard.
Now, if that happened in 2020, if it happened, what was the follow-up?
I know what you're going to
ask. Before
me.
Today, that were in 2024.
He
2025.
He continued to be in office.
He was elected after 2020. Is it not 2023 that we had the
elections, general elections?
If there was scrutiny
from 2020,
so what happened? What was the result? Yeah. The letter I saw emanated from the Supreme Court, meaning that there was a letter sent to them to confirm this person. Yes. The letter also said that he is free to come forward and present his qualifying certificates so that they can, because it's possible you are called and you did not enroll, you enrolled by yourself.
Wow.
After your call, you move to the Supreme Court to enroll.
Wow.
You have an enrollment number. And it is with that enrollment number that you pay a practicing fee. If you're practicing.
This is all the legalities that you people have to do. So they are saying the Obasa doesn't have these accreditations because that's what the Supreme Court is saying.
That's what that letter said. Is the letter genuine? Did the letter come back from the Supreme Court? We are yet to know.
My goodness.
Because so many things happen here.
And that is coming from you. If you're sounding like this, I'm wondering what the average Nigerian who doesn't even have an idea. The name of the person
who allegedly wrote the letter is on the letter. So we will get to know whether he wrote the letter, whether there was a request, and whether that request was what led to that letter, and then what happened after the letter.
But in reality, why do you think Obasa is in trouble? Because we have seen questionable characters like this do their thing in this environment. So why you mentioned something about the dog eat dog. Do you think
dog eating dog?
Yes.
That's what is happening to him. He's a dog. Those other dogs are eating him. He has been a dog. Oh. He is still a dog. Because these are people who have come together against us. Sometimes when they want to throw somebody out amongst them, they'll have something on his neck. There's so many things to do. The only saving grace for Peter B is that they have searched. I think they have even gone to hell to know whether he has a record there. They have found nothing on him.
That is like
the man who would have gone out of circulation. That's why they are now after his life. And the man is shouting, and somebody is saying he should not shout. Why not?
To think that a man like that actually exists in this country. We don't even have any value for our own resources, because to think that a man like that, I can't believe
he's an asset.
A man like that is existing while we are alive in this country, and we haven't thought to make use of such an exceptional person.
No, we cannot make use of him.
Why?
So many heads will rule. In fact, the heads, all their heads, all of them. Because what you find out is that when they come out of office, they become champions of rule of law.
Oh, yes. They churn out the best advices after they are done with office, you know.
Some concern, that person is talking absolute nonsense. You're saying what you never believed in. It's just because you are none in the other divide.
These conversations are mind-boggling sometimes. You begin to think about it. You go where you don't want to go, because wow. Mr. Onyeka Chiede is a barrister at law. He doesn't like to be addressed as a barrister anyways, but you can hear his ideologies about some of these things, which I agree with most of it. I agree with most of this, because have you seen the kinds of things that are happening here? And it seems our cries are falling on deaf ears. And then this thing about it being a collective effort. I'm just thinking that if for once in Nigeria, imagine we wake up and we somehow have cleared our system of some of these corrupt entities and individuals. I'm just off the top of my head, I'm imagining the kind of peace that might reign in this country if something like that ever happens.
Of course.
Do you think that we have a chance?
Yeah, why? It's a matter of time.
How much time are you looking at?
It's only God that can say.
Thank you so much for coming to the program, Mr. Onyeka. I enjoy talking to you all the time. Thank you very much for being a part of this program. Thank you for calling in. And if we couldn't take your calls, please do well to join us. And next week, this program comes to you weekly, every weekday, Mondays through Fridays from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. We're looking at topical conversations across the country, across the globe, everything that affects human affairs and human relationship and existence, especially politics. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. My name is Mavis Atudume. When you're out there today, please try your best to be a good person and try to extend that to the people around you. All right? You cannot pour from an empty cup. Remember that. Have a good morning. All right?
Wow.